Hi, I'm Stacy, and we're coming to you from the Allendale Mansion at the Keep Kingsport Beautiful Trash Barrel Paint-In, sponsored by BB&T. With me today is Alex Clark, who's one of our correspondents this year during the FunFest coverage that we'll be bringing you on discoverkingsport.org and Channel 16, as well as Jeff Hostetler, my co-host from last year. We are back to bring you much more exciting events. And also, we have Michelle from the Senior Center who's going to tell us a little bit about Senior Fest this year during FunFest. So, Michelle, if you would, tell us a little bit about what's going on during FunFest for the senior community.
Okay. We have lots of different activities planned during the week of FunFest. We have activities from July the 19th to 23rd at the Senior Center. We have lots of fun activities. We have a car fit program that's going to help people to adjust their seats, their mirrors, and things that we normally wouldn't even think about. They're going to be adjusted for the participants there at the Senior Center. There'll be a policeman there and also a representative from AAA. So that's going to be on Friday, July the 23rd at 9 o'clock. So if anyone's interested in participating in that, they need to call the Senior Center and get signed up for it. We also have a dance extravaganza, and this highlights all of our dance classes and the dances they've learned for the past semester at the Senior Center. And we also have Xavier Hall that's going to be there to do a stomp dance presentation, so that should be a lot of fun. We're going to have also door prizes every afternoon. We have vendors that will bring in these door prizes every day, and those are going to be given away each day at 2 o'clock in the first floor atrium. And just wonderful prizes, and also lots of refreshments. We have special meals planned. We have a Stories of Kingsport program that's going to be on Thursday, July the 22nd at 11:30. And what that's going to be is people who have lived in Kingsport all their life, or if they've just newly moved to Kingsport, they're going to be given an opportunity to share those stories with the group that meets there at 11:30 that day. And you know, we may have some people who get a little long-winded, but I'll just give them this, and we'll just move on to the next one. But we're going to have lunch provided that day by the Friends of the Senior Center. And also on Tuesday, July the 20th at 11:30, we're going to have a luau lunch, and we're going to have a hula demo. So that should be a lot of fun.
That should be a lot of fun.
You're in that one, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And we have lots of wonderful activities. On Wednesday, July the 21st, we're going to have our Senior Games Breakfast that's going to be sponsored by Cardiovascular Associates and also the Heart Care Network of Wellmont Hospital. And this recognizes our Senior Games participants that have gone to the state level and also the national level. So that'll be a wonderful recognizing breakfast for them on Wednesday the 21st. And that's going to be at 8:30 that morning. So lots of fun activities. There's really too many to mention on the air today, but check us out on our website at www.kptseniors.com, and you'll see the activities listed on there. And also, if you have any questions, you can reach us at 392-8400. Our address is 1200 East Center Street, and we are on the first floor of the Renaissance Center.
Great. Well,
That
thank you.
certainly sounds like a very fun week.
Yes.
Come check us out.
And Jeff is very close to qualifying as a senior, so you may see him at some of the events.
Now listen, all you have to be is 50 and over.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
and if you have a spouse that's 50 but you're not yet 50, you can still become a member.
Oh, his wife's very young, very young. He's old.
I'm speechless. That's a first. That's
Well,
a first.
thank you so much for being with us
You're
today and
welcome.
telling us about the senior events.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to scoot over, even though that wisecrack you had about me.
It was wise. Yes.
How about that? Just that crack about me. We'll go from there. Well, I guess one thing I'd like to talk about is Miss Alex here, just real quick. She is one of our new correspondents. Actually, our team has kind of grown from last year. So Alex, do you mind just telling us a little bit about yourself before we go on?
Sure, absolutely. Well, I'm really excited to be here. This sounds like a lot of fun. And my name is Alex Clark, and I'm an upcoming sophomore from the University of Alabama. So I'm originally from Kingsport, so I've grown up with FunFest, and so I'm really excited to be on this side of the activities and kind of see what's going on behind the scenes. So
It's very exciting. If you were with us last year, you got to see some of the footage and excitement going on behind the scenes. So we're very glad to be back and glad to have you with us for sure.
Now, one thing, Alex will be joining us also on our morning shows. She will be corresponding also on taking pictures and getting in front of the camera, interviewing people. So be sure if you happen to see her around, to say hi. We want to welcome her back, certainly back to the Kingsport area, and also her involvement with FunFest this year. We got a long lineup. Actually, this is the pre-show. Today is the 13th of July.
It's the 13th.
I got to remember that. Remember, if you saw our promo at the beginning, we had also explained that we were going to go live on July 16th at 10 a.m. on Channel 16, so be sure, everybody, you check that out. Also on discoverkingsport.org, be sure to see that as well. So let's talk a little bit about some of the events that we're doing. Now today, of course, we have the trash barrel painting here at Allendale, and you can see behind us, luckily the sun has been able to shine for a little while longer. I believe they had called for a good amount of rain today, but we have a great turnout. And of course, we're getting some pictures of it. We'll take the camera around and also get some shots of those as well. But you guys will be able to see these all throughout Kingsport. You'll be able to see all these wonderful paintings that the kids, adults, family members, grandparents all have done. So that's the first thing that happens with it. And what are some of the other events we have?
Well, one of the first things we had was this past Saturday, which there's some footage on discoverkingsport.org of the Miss Kingsport pageant. And so that footage is online if you'd like to look at that. So we've kind of already started our pre-FunFest festivities, but we will be bringing you a lot more activities. And we do suggest that you go by the Kingsport Town Center to the FunFest store in the old Radio Shack location and pick up a schedule of events. Of course, they are all over Kingsport. You can pick up a schedule, but be sure to go by there, check out some of the new clothing items. You can get one of these shirts.
Modeling.
Yes, we are modeling purple. So be sure to check that out at the Kingsport Town Center and pick up a schedule of events. Also, if you want updates via text messaging on your telephone, you can text Festus, F-E-S-T-U-S, to 25827, 25827. You can get updates on your phone. Also, you can go to funfest.net for more information, or discoverkingsport.org. And like Jeff said, we've got a lot of events coming up that we're going to be covering, one of which is the Crazy Eights. Of course, very exciting. Coming up this weekend, the Crazy Eights Road Race.
Anybody running? You guys running?
No, actually I was going to, but I decided to be on the coverage side this year. The coverage side this year. Actually, I am still doing a little bit of running. You can look at me and tell that I look like I don't do much running, but certainly actually do some of that. Ran it 2 years ago and had a blast. It's quite something to see everybody lining the streets and encouraging you on. You can run into, people have hoses that they spray with water, so that's a lot of fun too. Last year, I do need to mention this as well, since we're talking about, you know, wisecracks and stuff. Stacy, towards, I think it was mile marker 4, had actually dropped her phone and had to run against the grain, almost ran into a couple of runners. So if you can check out the footage from last year and see that Stacy actually, was that online? Did we get that one?
I was tweeting on Twitter at the time, and for some reason, phone dropped, almost went into a storm sewer.
You can hear her say, "Please stop,
I'm like,
I gotta pick up my phone."
They won't stop the cart. And
so we have entertainment as well as the coverage.
Against all of the runners. And
hopefully that won't be the case for you
this
year. Yeah.
There were no injuries.
There were no injuries this year, but what we had done at the end, actually we got into the stadium at the 45th minute, I believe, and televised all the way to 1 hour. And we were able to get a lot of runners. We actually had some people say that I got to see my brother, my sister, my husband run. It was quite neat to do that. Yeah. And if you ever have a chance to run the Crazy Eights and then get into the stadium and run across the football field, and you have all those people cheering you on, it actually, you know, feels like that you're, you know, really competing and doing a good job. It is a lot of fun. It is a whole lot of fun.
It's very rewarding. It's
very rewarding. Now, before that, of course, you know, we're going to be, our first event is at 10 a.m. on the 16th. Of course, you know, the Crazy Eights will be run on the 17th, that's Saturday. But certainly we'll be talking more about that coverage as well. One other thing I want to mention is that it's the 30th anniversary of FunFest.
Yes, it is.
Now, one thing we're going to be doing a little bit different this year is we're going to be talking with some people that were part of some of the very first FunFests. We're also going to be bringing on Leanne Hoover, who maybe some of you have seen her book in Food City. You might remember her from the author of the Santa Train book, but also she has one about Festus and his friends. His friends,
yes.
Yes, I got to get that correct.
It's a great little book, too.
It is a very good book, and she's a very talented author. So she might be coming on today. We might have her on one of our live shows, so be watching for that. Also, we'll be bringing on Lucy Fleming.
Lucy Fleming from the FunFest office.
We'll be doing coverage from the FunFest store, which you guys can see the outfits they have here today. You've got to go by and check out that store. It is, they have really set it up very nice. There's some additions to what they had from last year, and it's a great little thing to do. Great little thing to do.
And a few other things that we've got coming up in addition to our live show. We ask that you please submit your photos and videos of any events that you attend. If you're participating in something, if you're just a spectator, any pictures, any videos that you want, you just please send those to our website, discoverkingsport.org. And also, if you get a chance to stop by any of the events, if you happen to see us out interviewing in any of these events, please stop by and say hi. And if you want to be on camera, we'll put you on camera.
We'll put you on camera, because remember, this FunFest is about everyone here. It's about the event. It's not about us. It's not about the camera. It's about everyone here. It's being part of this celebration. So that's one thing.
Also, we would like to hear from you if you were around for the very first FunFest 30 years ago. So if you were around for that and you remember that and you participated or are active in that and want to tell us a little about it, just send us an email to our website.
Very easy to get a hold of us. Very easy to get a hold of us. One thing that Stacy had mentioned is the texting Festus to, what is the number? 25827. Highly encourage everyone to do that, certainly because weather-related events, things that are going to be updated, that is the best way to do it. I did it myself. You will get a response back saying thank you for joining, so they'll be sending those things out very shortly. One of the things, I have an update. I need to go ahead and bring this update together. Now, my company, Teleoptics, I do have to plug this, of course, is the motorcycle poker run. If you remember a couple years ago, we did have that, but this year it's back. I had actually, when you had signed up for it, it was going to say the stops would be mentioned during the day. However, what we're going to do is we do have the stops set, and to go ahead and mention those, we'll go ahead and say the very first stop will be Verizon in Kingsport. The second place will be Black Wolf Harley Davidson on exit 5 in Bristol. The third will be Phil's Dream Pit, so you can definitely stop by there. Yeah, that's right. Fourth is Spinal Correction Center in Johnson City, and the last is going to be Olympia Bowling Lanes in Greenville. Now that route's going to take us about 130 miles, but registration and kickoff is at 9 a.m. and it ends at 4 p.m. Now if you bring your card in at 4:01, you're pretty much out of luck, so go make sure that you're there at 4 o'clock. Now one thing, if you didn't get that, we will also have that text out back to through the texting through Festus to the updates, so we'll be able to catch that. Now each one of those locations will also have their ability. Hello, Mr. John.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Okay, so we'll have that ability. Totally threw me off. We'll have the ability to have coupons. They have specials running there, so please be a part of the poker run this year. That's one thing I had to mention.
Very good. That's great information.
We've got John.
Thanks, Jeff.
John just jumped in here.
I just jumped in. That's what my boss told me to do, so I did it my way.
Literally jump.
Hey, we're down here at the painting of the trash cans at FunFest. All the pictures that we're taking is going to be on discoverkingsport.org, so feel free to join us and look at our pictures, and hopefully you can get your picture off of our website also.
Is that all you're here for?
I believe that's all I'm here for, just to, jump in. I'm going to be with you guys. So
you see a lot of John, you see Alex, Andy, see us. Got a big crew this year.
But you know who you don't see? Is Whitney behind the camera. She's a lovely gal. And then there's Wes, and they're with Elixir Media Group, and they're the ones making all this possible. So thank you guys very much. Even though they're back there distracting us, that's what they do best. So.
Are there any other events you'd like to talk about?
Well, there's so many events coming up. There's too many to mention in such a short amount of time. We will be going to Bays Mountain later today, because as you know, during FunFest, Bays Mountain has free admission. So you can go to Bays Mountain and just take your whole family up there and enjoy the scenes, enjoy the critters.
Now, one thing to mention too is that are some of the events there at Bays Mountain you have to still pay for, correct?
Correct. Like the Wolf Run and then the Moonlight Hike, you still have to register and be a be a part of that.
Bays Mountain is a very big piece of Fun Fest, so that's one thing to mention as well. So, so our next thing is we're going to go to Bays Mountain and get some footage there. Now, one thing we're going to do from here right now is take a look at some of these barrels. Is that right? Is that correct? Is that what we're doing?
Well, before we do that, Jeff, I just want to thank our sponsors who's helped us get here. Lakeshore Media Group, City of Kingsport Fun Fest, but also Kingsport Provision Company has come on board, Stir Fry Cafe, TK Hot Dogs,
Teleoptics for allowing me to be here.
That's right, and Cornucopia, who is on Center Street also, and we just want to thank them for allowing us, giving us money to shoot this live.